What is up, Not So Pro Football Talk? It's Vincent Reed back again for another Monday video. But today we are not doing any drama, any NFL news, because it's been a little quiet here and there. Some news randomly, but we just basically got back from vacation, much needed. And today we're doing a mock draft, first of the year. But here's the kicker. It's only going to be the top 10 picks. Right now, we're just going off of what we think these teams pretty much should do in the top 10 picks. You have the cream of the crop to choose from. Should be pretty easy going forward. The only thing that might be hard is that a team before you might snag the number one guy that you wanted on your list at the spot that you're at. So it should be pretty fun. Go ahead and comment down below if you think we're correct on our pick or who you think it could be different. Do the Tennessee Titans get somebody else from what we're going to say? Cleveland, the New York Giants, so on and so on. But Reed, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. It's been a good day. Got a lot done at work, and I want to get excited for the draft. You know, there's a lot of stuff happening. Hopefully, some good stuff happens. You know, yeah.
We'll see. All righty, but AJ might join us later. He's got something that he's got to take care of, so he might pop in here or there just to join us on our top 10 mock drafts. But for now, I mean, without further ado, we'll just get into the top pick here. The Tennessee Titans have said before that they are not going to trade this pick. They want to choose a quarterback here, is from what we've heard. From rumors or from sources that might be a little bit better than these other Twitter chats and people that we see that come out with all this news all the time for the NFL. But Tennessee has a lot of needs, just like all majority of these top 10 teams in the bottom of the NFL right now. I have Tennessee taking Cam Ward. I think he's the best of the quarterbacks. Do I think he's going to be a NFL star at this point in time? First year, second year, maybe even third year? Probably not. The Titans don't have a lot going on with them. They did make some splash moves here and there in free agency, but it felt like more of their guys left the team than they brought in. So definitely a lot of holes to fill on both sides of the ball, and that's very apparent. But I just think Cam Ward is the best option for them. He's got the arm. He's got the legs. They just need to make sure that they can protect him and give him a little bit of time because he's good at scrambling. But then again, we've seen it time and time again. College is not the NFL. It's a lot harder.
I'm going to have to agree with you for the first pick for the Titans fans. I think Cam Ward is the obvious number one. I think he solidified it today at his pro day at his college. I think from what reports I saw, Titans feel good about it. I think it's a slam dunk at this point. The only question mark really for Cam Ward, is he that upper echelon type of quarterback, obviously. But the only thing you really saw struggle with too much in college was forcing the ball, not making smart decisions. So if the Titans can coach that out of him, he can be a good quarterback, hopefully, in this league. And hopefully the quarterback that they are looking for in the future. Thank you for talking about my noggin. Just so appreciate it. But sorry you have a headache, man. Do whatever you got to do. I'm guessing gumbo means like ibuprofen or something like that. I don't think it is with what you told us you consume. But thanks for doing post NSP and tuning in, Ben. We appreciate it.
Maybe he was trying to say gummy.
Maybe
he's back on the gummies again.
I don't know what he's doing out there.
But good to have you back, Dizzle. It's always a pleasure having you in the chat. Just don't get too crazy, all right? That headache, we know what it can do to you. But we'll move on to the next pick. as of right now, we have the Cleveland Browns sitting at number 2. Is there a possibility they trade out? I don't think so. I think it's a slam dunk for them to just stay here and pick the next best available, whether they want to go to quarterback, offensive line, edge rusher. I think they got a plethora of guys to choose from, even if Cam Ward comes off the board here. I'm pretty sure that's who they want to be in Cleveland, but if he's not there after the number 1 pick, after the Titans, I think that they're going to go Abdul Carter. I think they're going to go with the edge. I think they just signed Myles Garrett and they want to pair another guy with him to hopefully bolster up that defense a little bit more. Abdul Carter has been pretty much projected to be just like the Cowboys linebacker. His name is slipping my mind because he's such a drama queen. What's his name?
Deshaun Watson?
No, the linebacker from the Cowboys.
Michael
Parsons, yeah. Same school from Penn State, exact same carbon copy is basically what everybody's saying. I think he'll fit well there with the Cleveland Browns. Do I think he'll like going there? I don't know. I think he'll like the money, though, because we know that the Cleveland Browns just toss money at their star players, and I don't think he'll be too bad off with that. Obviously, there's a lot of offensive guys that the Browns can get to help just even a little bit on the offensive side of the ball. But again, I think they go defense. I think they're trying to create that aura there again and hopefully just get out of that contract with Deshaun Watson and get some younger guys there. But what do you think, Reed? Who do the Cleveland Browns get at 2?
So far, we're staying consistent, Vincent. I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying they get Abdul Carter. He had a great season last year with Penn State. 13 sacks, 10 hits, 43 hurries. Really good season from him. I think they're getting a great edge rusher to partner with Myles Garrett, and you're going to have him for the next 3, 4, 5, hopefully 5+ years with Myles Garrett. That should be a 1-2 duo there to take some pressure away from Myles Garrett. And while offensive lines are going to have to put all their focus on Myles Garrett, hopefully, for the next few years, Abdul Carter is going to be able to flourish on that D-line, hopefully, and really show his stardom.
Exactly. We've seen it time and time again in the NFL when you pair up 2 edge rushers, one older and more seasoned, and then one new guy who can just bring the heat. It usually works out pretty good if you hit on those picks. But pretty cool. I mean, back-to-back same picks here. Let's see if this one's a little bit different. I don't know if it is or not, but the Giants are pick at number 3. They just signed Jameis Winston. Dubs, or how he did it. You like that? All that stuff, you know. But the New York Giants still need a quarterback for the long term. I'm going to go with Shadir Sanders. I don't think it's a smart pick, but when have the New York Giants been smart in free agency, in the draft, all that? Of course, they hit on Malik Neighbors. I liked it. But they need so much more than just a quarterback. They need an offensive line, defense in general. Everything needs to be reworked there. I don't know, man. I'd have Shadir Sanders going here because I don't think he'll fall to the top 5, and I don't think the Patriots or the Jags need a quarterback. So unless somebody trades up and gets the New York Giants pick, I don't know. But from what I've been hearing, the top 3 picks are pretty much solidified unless somebody throws the freaking house for one of these quarterbacks or Abdul Carter. So as I've been saying throughout the free agency period, even during the season, I just don't like Shadir Sanders. He's all over the place. He tries to run it and make magic happen. That's not going to happen in the NFL. He's a small type guy, skinny frame. He's going to get hurt. Again, I just don't think this is what the Giants should do, but I do think this is what they are going to do because they are pushed into a corner. Dayball is – I thought he was going to get fired at some point in time this year or the offseason, but they decided just to keep everybody. The organization is happy so far with what's going on, and they're, embracing the rebuild, even though Saquon Barkley just won the championship with a rival. So been bad sledding for the Giants, but that's all I really have to say about Shadur Sanders. That's who I think they'll pick, and I think it's a bad pick. What do you think, Reed?
All right, so for me, Vincent, we're going 3 for 3. I'm also going Shador Sanders. So my reasoning is, yes, they signed Jameis Winston, who is a option. Okay, he's not the long-term plan. Now they currently do have a offer out to Aaron Rodgers. I do not believe Aaron Rodgers goes to the Giants. I do not think that is what a possible scenario. Personally, I think most likely scenario at this point, he either retires or he plays for the Steelers. And he did just meet with the Steelers on Friday for about 6 hours, supposedly, from sources. So I definitely think that with the Giants, they put it out for Aaron Rodgers and probably some other quarterbacks. I think they are going to have to make a move on a younger quarterback this year and try to draft and develop. I think Shador Sanders is that guy for them. Personally, I'm not as low on him as Vincent is personally, but I do think he is a starter in this league. I do think he has some upside if you can draft and develop him very well. I either see him going number 3 to the Giants, or I see him falling to Las Vegas, and because I think that area and potentially Dion, etc., will definitely attract both of them to that area. But I definitely think New York was a big enough market for how big his ego and Dion's ego is as well. We'll see if his ego works out for him. Some people, you just have that type of confidence and you're able to actually put it all in the field. It works for some people. So if it doesn't, it's going to blow up in his face. I hope it doesn't. I think that he can bring a lot of what's the word? I want to try to phrase it right.
Charisma?
Not charisma, but interesting storylines for the NFL. I guess you could say that. Him being a star. I mean, Primetime was most entertaining players ever to watch. If he can exemplify even a little bit of that, I think that's going to be really, really fun to watch, in my opinion. So hopefully he does good with the Giants. They need a quarterback.
Yeah, and obviously I'm not a hater of him. I just don't think he's going to be a good pick out there. I do think that he was just a little bit boasted by the media, and I just hope an NFL organization doesn't put all their chips into him. I don't know if it's going to work out like it did with Jaden Daniels, like it did with CJ Stroud, like it did, I guess you can say, with Justin Herbert and Trevor Lawrence, even though they aren't solidified, number one guys who are top of their class.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll move on to the New England Patriots. Hopefully they don't get stuck in this predicament. I think they'll stick with Drake May. I think he's a good quarterback. Do I think they could possibly bring somebody in later in, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round to give him some competition? Possibly, just to see what the window is. But I'm going to say that the Patriots are going to be smart here. I don't think they should reach on the players that Dizzle wants them to get. One, I don't think they'll get Abdul Carter because I don't think he'll fall that far.
No.
And two, I just don't like Travis Hunter. So I'm going to go with the safe option here. I think they're going to protect Drake May, and I think they're going to get Will Campbell. I think he's one of the better tackles in this class. I think he just fits the Patriots organization. Not to be a little bit of a, type of skin color thing here, but the Patriots love to get some white boys on the line, big white boys, and I think that Will Campbell fits that. From LSU, I think it's going to be a good fit, in my opinion. He could play well. I don't know if it's going to be 100% a lock for him, but in my opinion, I think that this is the best spot for him to go to start right away and hopefully make a good impact with the way that Drake May plays his football there. But that's just my opinion there. Again, I could be wrong, but I think they would want to protect Drake May. I think they want to beef up the trenches because they already did that on the defensive side in free agency. And I think they're going to start to do that on the offensive side. I just don't think they're going to reach on a guy like Travis Hunter because I think it's a reach here.
All right, well, you heard it from the biggest hater of Travis Hunter out there. Vincent has been hating on him for a very long time, so I'm surprised, but I shouldn't have been surprised that you didn't take Travis Hunter here. I took Travis Hunter for the Patriots here at number 4. I think he's going to play corner and play some wide receiver snaps as well. I think he's going to try to play it all. We'll see how preseason goes. I think they'll maybe try it, hopefully, and we'll see what happens from there. But as Dizzle says, he is an incredible athlete. Once in generation type of player. You don't miss on Travis Hunter here. When you need wide receiver help, you need they have a good corner, but they need more depth as well. I think Travis Hunter is going to elevate the team, help Drake May be a better quarterback, etc. I cannot see a way that you do not take Travis Hunter here at number 4. You got to take him.
I don't know, man. I just don't see it. At least for the New England Patriots, I think that he will fall just a little bit more. I don't know. I just don't like it. I don't like a guy being that boastful who I wasn't extremely impressed on both sides of the ball. He did great for playing both sides of the ball 100%, but I don't think he's above some of the other guys. But that's just my bias there. So we'll move on to Jacksonville. Jacksonville is another team that is trying to retool everything. So it could go well with whoever falls to them here. Again, it's all situational. Will they trade the pick and move back, try to get some more pieces there? Dizzle says, Vince thinks Seattle DBs are good until you see New England this year, but I want Hunter to play wide receiver. Interesting. Yeah, I'm wearing my Tariq Woolen jersey here, number 27, throwing it back to the draft that happened a few years ago. So, but yeah, I mean, our DBs aren't the greatest. I think we would probably get some more DBs, and I think hopefully offensive line. But moving on to Jacksonville here, this is where I have Travis Hunter falling. I think that Jacksonville could be a interesting place for him. They need wide receiver help. They need cornerback help more than the Patriots do, in my opinion. I think they bite. I think they're going to take the hype. I think they're going to draft Travis Hunter here. I would think they're going to have him play corner because they need that the most. They don't need him to be on both sides of the ball, but I think this is the most likely place that he could actually do that. I don't think he'll be able to do it with the Patriots because I don't think they'll allow him to. I think Jacksonville just might, because Jacksonville is trying their best to get out of this rut. They played well for just a few seasons, and then they just fell off again. So that's where I think Travis Hunter could go and make the biggest difference and play both sides of the ball, and that's why I have him falling here.
Okay. So we're different again, obviously, because you had Travis Hunter not at number 4 like I did. So for me, for Jaguars, there's a lot of different ways they could go here with how the top 4 have gone. 2 quarterbacks, so that leaves a lot of skill positions, whether it's offensive line, etc. They can go a lot of different areas here. I've got them taking the guy out of Michigan, defensive lineman Mason Graham. Mason Graham has had 2 back-to-back pretty good years. This past year, he had 5 sacks, 9 hits, 20 hurries, and 1 batted ball. He is a really good interior defensive lineman. I think he can bring a lot to the Jaguars. I don't think they're going to go wide receiver with what's on the board at that point because I think Travis Hunter goes before. But there's a lot of different ways to go. They could go tight end, but I don't see Tyler Warren getting drafted that high because that is also a need after they got rid of losing his name.
No, I forgot his name too.
Yeah, I'm blanking right now, but you guys all know the guy they moved on from. So there's a lot of different ways to go. This Jaguars team needs a lot. I don't know personally what the new head coach and their very young GM are going to be thinking about this draft. Brand new GM, we don't know his strategy. Brand new head coach, we don't know what they're going to do really about having to rebuild this team. So they go a lot of different ways. I say they go safe. Everybody needs defensive linemen. Take a guy that's going to be a hopefully sure thing.
Awesome. The tight end was Evan Ingram. Did a quick search.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah, I believe he went to the Broncos.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
But yeah, so big loss there. But who knows? Again, the Jaguars, I think, are the most likely pick to trade out if anybody's going to do it here in the top 5. I think that their team is probably one of the better ones out of these top 5. They just had a lot of guys that were not healthy and a lot of guys that did not hit. So hopefully they can rebound there. I think they are a pretty decent team. But Las Vegas, pick number 6 here. Pete Carroll is the new head coach. Geno Smith is the new quarterback. That changes a lot for them and what they're going to do in the draft, in my opinion. Do they go with a quarterback here with the top 2 options off the board? I don't think so. I think getting another guy in this quarterback class at 6 is just not the way to go. They can get a lot more guys later on. So what I have them doing here is boasting up the defense because their defense is not that great. Hasn't been in a while. And as we heard last year, they went ahead and just swept the entire defense of all the guys they've drafted within the past 4 years. So they really don't have a lot of guys there. So who I think they're going to get here is a man named Will Johnson. He's a cornerback. I think that he fits the system here. He's from Michigan, 6'2", 194. Pete Carroll loves that build. That's all he drafted at all the time when he was in Seattle. Nobody below 6'1" in that 190 to 210 range if he could find it. That's his cream of the crop. He loves that. With Travis Hunter off the board, who doesn't fit that archetype, I think Will Johnson is going to be the guy that he wants to boast the defense there. Kind of like how Gonzo does it in New England. He's hoping that Will Johnson can do it here for the Raiders in Las Vegas. So that's my reasoning there. Pete Carroll in the building. They're letting him have free reign, basically. Him and Tom Brady are going to be in that room, basically. And it's going to be pretty cool to watch if they show it. But that's who I think they'll pick there. I think the defense needs to be addressed. And I think a lot of the other guys are off the board for them there.
Okay. All right. So for this pick, the only way I don't see the Raiders taking this person here is if they think that, hey, the hype isn't very big for this player. I don't think we need to take him at number 6. We can trade back and acquire some more picks and take him later in the first round, maybe early second round. Okay. I think they can be a little bit moving around, but if they were to stay at this pick because this person gets more hype and notoriety, they will stay here at 6 and pick this guy. That person is Vincent. I have a quick question for you. When do you draft a quarterback?
When do you draft a quarterback?
Yes. When do you draft a quarterback?
When you need one.
When you don't need one. You take Jackson Dart here at number 6. Okay.
Wow.
Jackson Dart is out of Ole Miss. He had played really, really well this past year. 29 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and had a couple bad games to end the season. And that's when everybody kind of like the hype for him died down, and that's why he's not really being talked about. Personally, I think when it's all said and done, Jackson Dart out of this QB class has the potential to be the best quarterback out of this draft class. If he goes into the right situation, they're able to build around him perfectly, because we all know quarterbacks, they need a team around him and a system around them to be able to be good, okay? So I do think Jackson Dart in the right situation with I'm losing the name of the tight end for the Raiders. Brock Bowers. Thank you, Vincent. You are my you're my knight in shining armor right now. But I think Jackson Dart at number 6, or they draft back and take Jackson Dart at a later pick. I think he goes to the Raiders. I think they're going to have him develop under Geno, have him teach him, hey, how to be a backup, how to be a take over that mantle when you're ready, etc., and learn from him and start him when he's ready.
Interesting. So I guess from Reed's thinking, they're going to give up on Aiden O'Connell to learn from Geno Smith now. And I mean, they signed Geno Smith for, a good chunk of time. So he'll be there to definitely mentor Jackson Dart if that's the direction they go. But yeah, that's bold, Reed. I like it. Dizzle likes it too. So interesting. Definitely way different than what I expected there. But we'll move on to the Jets here. Now, the Jets are losing a lot in free agency. They need to get younger, and they still have a good young core with the addition of Justin Fields there at quarterback. So the Jets were another area where I thought they could go quarterback in the draft until they signed Justin Fields, my guy. And I hope they do him right. This is what I would do if I was the GM of the Jets, because they just do not do this, especially when they sign a quarterback that's very mobile. So hopefully they change their ways and not just get him a weapon, they get him some protection. So Dizzle says that they're taking the LSU guard here. I think they're going to go tackle here because I don't think Tyron Smith is going to be that guy that bolsters the left side tackle for Justin Fields. So tackle position is going to be the biggest thing here. And the guy that I have going here is none other than the Longhorns tackle, Kelvin Banks. So Dizzle, he says short arms Campbell. Oh, Dizzle. That's who I had going to the Patriots. That's why you love him so much. But the New York Jets are going to get Kelvin Banks here. I think he is a solidified tackle in this league. He's a big-bodied guy, pretty good height, pretty good reach. And I think it's just going to benefit Justin Fields to have a tackle there that is actually young, willing to learn, and has a pretty good high ceiling. So they are pretty much saying that this guy is the unanimous tackle in this class that will be the best one out of the bunch. Again, that's to be expected when you go in the first round in the top 10 here, but I think Kelvin Banks just fits this system, and I hope that the Jets start to get smart and just build in the trenches again, because they did it for the defensive side, but they really neglected the offensive side after those few picks that they did about 4 or 5 years ago on the offensive line. So we'll see. What do you think, Reed?
All right, so I also got them going offensive line as well, Vincent. You got to give Justin Fields what he never had with the Bears, which made him struggle all those years, is a good offensive line. Okay, you need to bolster that offensive line. He's got some weapons, Garrett Wilson and his running back Breece Hall and etc. around him can be enough for him, and hopefully to be a good passer. But you need to buy him time in that pocket, because we know he can work some magic on his feet, but you need some time. And the tackle that they're going to take is Will Campbell. Will Campbell from LSU. You had him going number 4 to the Patriots. I've got them going to the Jets at number 7. So Will Campbell, number 7. What's up, Big Money Joe? Great to see you, man.
It's going, Big Dog. So yeah, I like it. I like that we both go tackle here. Again, you and Dizzle are on the same page of them going with Will Campbell. I think as long as they get a tackle here in the first round, I think Justin Fields will be happy. Again, will it work out with some of these guys? It's to be decided, because we've seen a lot of great tackles who've had a lot of great accolades and honors in college just not make it in the NFL. But we'll move on to the Panthers. This one is a really interesting pick for me because it seems like the offense was getting going pretty good. They were putting up a lot of points there, got a couple wins there in the last half of the season, and it really looked good. But at this point in time, I think they're just going to try their best to just fraction up something on the defensive side. So here I have them taking Jalen Walker, an edge. I think that's the best way they can do it. A big guy from Georgia, 6'1", 243, pretty fast off the edge and pretty dang strong. So he's got a lot of awards, everything like that. Everybody knows these edges from Georgia and Alabama do great in the NFL. And I think the Panthers are going to do well drafting a guy like this. So they already have another guy at the other end, Brian Burns, I believe. No, did they trade him away? Yeah, Brian Burns is with the Giants now, I believe.
Yes.
So I think I said that wrong. But Brian Burns used to be with the Panthers. I know that for sure. But I know they have somebody there, and it's slipping my mind. But the Panthers have one good edge at this point in time, and I think Jalen Walker will be the other guy to accompany him. So Dizzle says there, he says Brian Burns trade was horrible. Yeah, it was, but it happens. So I think Jalen Walker is the guy to be the next Brian Burns in the league for them. I don't know if he'll be that great at this point in time in the first year, but I know he's going to build up to that. And hopefully the Panthers can just continue to get better and play the long game. They already have a really good offense, in my opinion, with just these young guys. And if they can add a few more pieces, maybe in free agency or just through the draft, I think they're going to build a great team. So the Panthers, I have them going defense like they need to be.
Okay. So in my opinion, they're not going defense. That's my opinion. But they're going to take the first wide receiver off the board. Okay. I got them going wide receiver. Yes, they got a lot of young guys, and they got Bryce Young, who can hopefully really go to the next level, but might as well give him another guy that he can throw to, and that is going to be Tita Riora McMillan out of Arizona Wildcats. So I got him going to them. He's had some incredible stats these past 2 years. Past year, 84 receptions for 1,300 yards with 8 touchdowns. Last year, the year before that, he had 10 touchdowns. I think he'd really bolster a very young wide receiver group, other than Adam Thielen, obviously, that old guy over there. But I think they can add an additional piece and become really, really good, in my opinion.
Nice. So let's go through this comments here. He says, Tita to Carolina, I like it. Tetiora, yeah. I think he's going to be a good wide receiver. My only problem with him is he's like a DK type guy. He's not very good with the short intermediate routes because he's not that quick. But hopefully it translates. We've seen a lot of guys who run slow that translate well into the NFL. So I think he could be one of those guys too. Dizzle also says, I would have loved Judy to the Pats on the cheap. Happy for him in Cleveland, though. He cooked Denver on Monday Night Football. Yeah, he went insane that week. I remember that. Clear as day. But we'll move on to the Saints here. One of the franchises that just needs to get younger and get off some of these contracts and hopefully push the cap down the road to get back into the positives. But New Orleans, like a lot of teams here in the top 10, need a lot to get better. And at this point in time, I think they're going to try to assist the offense because the offense sputtered so much when Derek Carr got hurt. Kamara was dealing with injuries all year because that line is just horrible. So I think I'm going to take my third offensive tackle here at number 9 in the top 10 rounds because I think that tackles are one of the better one of the better areas in this draft. So I'm going to go with Armand Membo. He's an offensive tackle. I think he's going to translate well. I would love the Seahawks to get him, but I just don't think that he's going to fall this far. So that's why I have him going here. But I just think the Saints need everything, and why not start on the offensive side, hopefully keep Derek Carr happy, and hopefully safe because he's been dealing with a lot of injuries. I was going to go with Titiora here as well, but I just don't know what's going to happen with what's his name, number 12. His name is slipping my mind again here. Let me double check.
Number 12 for the Saints?
Yeah, he was injured for more than half of the season. Chris Olave.
Yes.
Yeah, Chris Olave was out for 12 weeks of the season at minimum. There's a lot of skepticism here that Chris Olave will be traded sometime before the NFL season starts, maybe even in this draft to somebody. So this is not too far-fetched here, Dizzle. Chris Olave to the Pats. It says no more Taysom Hill. Yeah, exactly. It says I would have loved Judy to the Pats. Oh, that weird said down. But yeah, so I was really, really trying to put Titiora here over the Saints, but I just think they really need to build in the trenches. and hopefully Chris Olave can get healthy and stay with him, because I think he would benefit their offense a lot too.
Okay. All right. So Vincent, I went a different, oh my God.
My goodness.
Vincent, I went a very different direction from you on this pick. Okay. Now, Vincent, when do you draft a running back?
When you need one, Reed.
And Alvin Kamara is at the end of his line,
Nope.
Vincent. Yes, he is. It does. Father Time knocks on the door eventually, right? And what could be better for him than having to take less snaps and be more effective on that offense and give the ball to none other than Ashton Genty. Yes, Ashton Genty goes to number 9 to the Saints. And yes, Alvin Kamara, hey, for all you fantasy guys out there, yes, his draft stock will go down a little bit, but don't be too worried. He's going to get the touchdown still, all right? He's still going to be their guy that they will go to. But Ashton Genty is going to be the bell cow for the Saints as a ground and pound team, hopefully, next year. Kendre Miller, they drafted, I believe, 2 years ago now, has not been who they wanted him to be, unfortunately. Has only gotten 2 touchdowns in 2 years, barely has over 340 yards. He has not been the running back they took in the 3rd round. I think they go after a generational player. This is, right, Vincent?
Generational. He's good.
A generational, possibly should have been the Heisman winner, Ashton Genty, as their running back to help propel them into a great year. Not a great year necessarily, but a very dynamic running game. What is up, the Lord's Chips? It's been a while. Hope all is well, gentlemen. Hope all is well is with you, sir. Big Money Joe says, Olave got brain damage. Hella sad. Just saw a video of all his concussions. It was brutal just watching it. I do not want to watch that video.
They are bad, man. I feel so bad.
The last one was just so horrible, and I didn't know his history of him. Once I started hearing that, hey, at his super young age, he's already thinking about retirement. That's tough. That's tough.
Exactly. But yeah, so I mean, I wouldn't mind Jonty going to the Saints. He is a great running back, even though that line is not all what it's made out to be anymore. Because it used to be one of the dang best O lines in the league, but then cap hell happened. So I wouldn't mind that. I think he's already been acclimated to not having a great O-line, and he's done well without one. But we'll see how he translates to the NFL. I hope I'm correct there that he's a generational talent, because it just looks like he is. The way he runs, the way he moves through contact, he's a great running back with great balance. So should be fun. But we'll move on to the last pick of today. Maybe we'll move on. Maybe we'll go longer. But at number 10 here, we have the Chicago Bears. So this one I'm interested to hear yours first, Reed, just because I want to hear what you think one of your possibly best upcoming rivals is going to pick here. So who do you got for the Bears? They just attacked the defense and the offensive line already.
On the offensive line.
Yeah.
Yes. So there's a lot of different areas they could go. Defensive line, they could still add depth in. They need safeties. Oh, and they also need a running back. Oh, darn it. Ashton Genty just went at number 9, so they can't get Ashton Genty. Shucks, Bears. That really blows.
Was that planned, Reed?
No! Dang, dude. Bears just missed out on a generational player. I mean, sucks to suck if you're the Bears. You know, it's one of their biggest needs is a running back. I see them going at a safety and taking Georgian man Malachi Starks as a safety help for them. They got at the corner. They got defensive lineman to get after the quarterback, but they need some help at the defensive line. He is, I don't know, I'm reaching to the bottom of the barrel here, Vince, as far as players I actually know in college. But he has 62 tackles, missed 7 tackles. I don't know if he's a strong safety or a free safety after what I'm looking at right now. But apparently he's a good safety, and they need some safety help. for that Bears team.
That's not bad. I do like the pick for sure. I believe he was a strong safety. Just the way that he comes down to tackle and everything like that. Usually, Alabama has their top safety being a strong safety almost all the time. So this one should be good of a pick there. But unlike Reed, I have Ashton Jaunty going here.
No.
Yes.
No, the Saints take him.
I think the Saints is a great position for him to go, but man, I'm like literally just really dreaming of Ashton Jaunty going here to the Bears with the O-line they just amassed, with the open vacancies that are going to be there with the Bears within the next few years. He just takes over as the main back. It's going to be great. So I have Ashton Jaunty going here. I think this is the best possible area that he could just end up falling to with the restored O-line. Again, we already know that Caleb Williams needs somebody to dunk the ball off to. And who knows? That could be DeAndre Swift still. He did a great job this past year catching passes. And then Ashton Jaunty coming in and just being that heavy hitter type of running back, like you said, for the Saints, Reed. I think this would be the best thing since sliced bread. I know I use that reference a lot, but Ashton Jaunty just coming here is like a godsend. I know that they're having a lot of turnover in coaches. You know, Ben Johnson, he's new here, but this would be a slam fire pick for him. First time as a head coach, working with that organization after working with Detroit, who is the nemesis, another nemesis of Chicago. It would be amazing to see. I think this offense would be stellar to watch as long as Caleb Williams can get under control. So that's what I got for 10 there, Reed.
It's a good possibility, unfortunately. I hope it doesn't happen.
We'll see. We'll see. Do you want to extend this, Reed, a couple more picks?
I'm okay with that. I've already got what the Niners are taking, which, I mean, we know what position area they should go for. I think we can all agree on that one. So I'll go ahead and go first since I'm already talking. I've got taking a Missouri tackle named Armand Membuo. Out of Missouri. I don't know offensive lineman very well. I know he's good. He didn't allow any sacks or hits last year. He only allowed 8 hurries according to PFF. And that's out of 827 snaps, 411 of them being pass snaps. So not allowing a single sack out of 411 pass blocking snaps, I would say, personally, pretty good. So hopefully he can bring some stability to that very bad offensive line over there with the Niners.
Interesting. I think they do the opposite.
Oh,
I think they still go defense.
Wow.
I would have wanted them to try to get a wide receiver because they always just miss on wide receivers in the first round. And I know Age is hoping that they don't do that here at 11. But this is possibly the lowest we've seen the San Francisco 49ers pick in a good while. So they need to get this correct. So I think San Francisco is going to go defense. It's their bread and butter. They need somebody alongside Nick Bosa since they couldn't get the Bosa brothers together here through free agency. So I think they're going to go with the best edge off the board at this point in time. I'm going to go with James Pierce here from Tennessee. He's a great edge rusher. He's super big. So he would be a great long-armed guy to get past those offensive tackles and guards there, just to get to the quarterback and hopefully help Nick Bosa. They did lose a few defensive guys, and I know that stung AJ a lot. So this is what they're going to do to replenish. They're going to get younger, and I think James Pierce would be a great pick for them. 6'5", 245. I mean, a beast. He's got a bunch of accolades, everything that you can think of. So I think this guy would be a great edge to get for the 49ers. Do I hope that they go with a wide receiver? Yes, but that's who I have them picking here.
All right.
But yeah,
Keep
so
going. Dallas?
I'm down. I think we can go probably all the way to, maybe even 18, Reed. Just
Ew.
18.
Or we stop at 17. Okay.
Yeah.
You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I'll announce it. I have the Dallas Cowboys here. Obviously, they need a plethora of guys. They could go wide receiver, running back. If Ashton Jonty's still here at the possibility, if none of our picks are correct and Jonty just slips down the board, I think Dallas could end up getting him. They signed a few running backs to a short-term type of deal. So obviously, they're not going to be their backs for the longest time. But I think what the Cowboys need to do is go wide receiver here. So I'm going to go with the next best wide receiver off of my board, at least. I'm going to go with Luther Burden. He's another Missouri player. He's going to be opposite of the side of CeeDee Lamb. So he's going to take away some attention from him. They're comparing him to Deebo Samuel. He has a lot of good yak yards, pretty good ball catcher, as you need to be as a wide receiver, hopefully. But really good acceleration. He can take away a lot from CeeDee Lamb as of, the defensive scheming. So I think that's who they'll go with. He's a 6 foot, 205 guy, pretty dang good speed, 4'4", 140. So he didn't have the best year with Missouri, but he shows all the benefits of, having somebody that's reliable on the other side. Now he does have a high drop rate, but again, they're not going to be feeding him like they are with CD. He's just a guy, again, to distract and hopefully make some good plays along the road. So I think that's who they'll go with. Wide receivers, their biggest need, as they've just lost a lot of guys throughout the time. And hopefully they give Dak Prescott another weapon.
Okay. Now, Vincent, I love my curveballs. I think my biggest one so far has been Jackson Dart, but this may rival that curveball, okay?
Oh, gosh.
I think Jerry Jones wants Ashton Jeanty. I think he wants him as the running back at the Dallas Cowboys and bring back another great running game for the Cowboys. I think this is a little bit of a scared pick, but potentially could be a great pick, just like the Lions with Gibbs was a great pick. I think they go Scatterboo. Cam Scatterboo to the Cowboys at number 12.
Wow.
What do we think?
I wouldn't mind it.
I love how he plays. Watching him in those playoffs, I loved how he played. I loved his demeanor. I hope he is an incredible running back in this league. I think a run first, hopefully, I don't know what the offense is going to look like now with their new head coach, name slipping my mind as usual. I think they go with Cam Scatterboo. First of all, what's up, Brandon? Great to have you here. And just says, haha, no chance they signed Javonte, bum, and they signed Miles Sanders, bum. That's all I got to say about that.
Oh, my goodness. How funny. Well, I do think that could be a possibility. We've seen the Cowboys, I wouldn't say reach for a running back, but they got Ezekiel Elliott within the top 6 picks, I think. I think he was
that was so long ago.
I think he was at number 6. I don't remember exactly. I'm not a Cowboys fan, so I wasn't, jumping up and down at that when they picked him from Ohio State. But I wouldn't mind Scatterbo going to the Dallas Cowboys, because if he goes there, then obviously he's not going to be with the 49ers, and I just don't want him there. So because he's good, I do agree. I think he rivals Ashton Jeanty just with his power style. He's a powerful back. He's quick on his feet. So great to see him in our division. But Dizzle says that Jerry misses prime Zeke.
100%.
He does, dude. He does. He is he's just salivating at the possibility of hopefully getting Ashton Jeanty there. But if not, I think Scatterbo's the next best guy to get, 100%. But we'll move on to pick 13 here. And I think Miami needs a lot on the defensive side. I feel like their organization has just gone down the crapper, basically, just because of this Tua situation. Now, Tua is living it up right now. He is out there on a boat, a yacht, I believe, living it up, hanging out with his family, hanging out with a few other NFL players. So obviously his concussions look like they're past him, right? But we'll have to wait and see. I think the Dolphins here are going to go on the defensive side. They've lost a lot there, whether it's defensive line, linebackers, safeties, and I think they go safety here. Now, Reed, you had Malachi Starks going earlier on. I'm having him go here. I think he's a great fit over here in Miami. He went to Georgia, a great safety. Comes down and hits, plays good protection in zone and a little bit of man if he's needed. He was a guy that moved around a lot for them. So I think Malachi Starks just fits the Miami Dolphins play style. And I hope that Miami gets back on track because I feel like they were just a quarterback away. And usually we don't say that, but with just the quarterbacks that they had to use to survive, they went 8-9. So it was all right. But we'll see. So I have the Dolphins here going defensive side safety.
Be careful with
I saw
comments.
that. I saw
that. For me, for the Dolphins, I'm going offensive lineman. I got them going with Kelvin Banks, Texas. Vincent already talked about him, so I won't go too into depth, but he is a very good offensive lineman. Can really help protect Tua and that running back room of whatever his name I can never pronounce. I always get it wrong.
Who is it?
Dolphins running back?
Achane?
Achane.
I still don't remember it, honestly.
Who knows? But yeah, I got him going offensive lineman, Kelvin Banks.
Nice. All right, so we'll move on to pick 14 here. That is the Indianapolis Colts.
Yes.
This is a team where I just really don't know. What did he say? Am I feeling Sam Darnold?
How does it feel to have Sam Darnold?
I feel all right about it. I just think we need to address the O-line for him to actually play well. I think if we do that in the draft, which hopefully we can get to the pick here today. If not, we'll do it another day. But I think we need to address O-line in the first round. If not, we need to get a generational guy at the pick. But moving on to Indianapolis's pick here at 14, they need a lot. I feel like Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones there is already going to be a pretty good system to try to elevate one of those quarterbacks to be the guy. Again, I still think the Colts are just not going to be a winning team at this point in time because they just have two guys that are mediocre fighting it out. But what I do think they'll do is that they're going to try to help at least one of these quarterbacks move up in, that level. So I think they are going to get the first tight end off the board here. I'm going to go with Colston Loveland. He's a Michigan tight end, good blocker. Yeah, I don't think they're going to take the other tight end. Tyler Warren is great, but I think they're going to go with Colston Loveland because he can help off the edge for blocking. That's the only reason I'm going with this one. So I'm going Colston Loveland from Michigan, 6'6", 248, a great blocker, a great route runner. I think he's going to be good. He's got good hands as well, and I think that's what the Colts will go with instead of the high-scoring, high pass-catching Tyler Warren. Not the best blocker in my opinion, but still a very big guy, and he demanded targets as well. So, but yeah, I'm just doing it because they need offensive line help, and they also need a pass catcher there to help at the tight end position. So, Colston Loveland. Who do you got?
So I got them taking Tyler Warren. I disagree with you, Vince. They need a blocker, whatever your guy's name is. I already forgot it.
Colston Loveland.
You get that in the second round, third round, fifth round, etc. Okay. Right now in the first round, you take the high-scoring tight end that's going to be able to elevate that team and catch horrible passes from Daniel Jones and or Anthony Richardson, okay? They need a guy that can catch some balls, okay? And that is Tyler Warren.
Okay. So, yeah, we're disagreeing there on the tight end position. So, awesome. I love tight ends, but I just think that Tylen Warren is going to go to a team that actually is going to use him correctly, and I don't think that's the Colts. The Colts want to be a heavy run team and not so much of a passing team. We saw that. Anthony Richardson only threw 10 times in one game at one point in time. It's stupid, yeah. So obviously Daniel Jones doesn't throw the ball a lot either when he was with the New York Giants, and I just don't think that's the type of game that the Colts are going to play. That's why I went with Colston. But if they get Tyler Warren, I just hope they use him correctly, because I would be pretty mad to see that type of guy as a like Brock Bowers type of level go to a team that's not going to use him at all. So I'll move on here to the Atlanta Falcons, pick number 15. And I'll leave it up to you, Reed, if you want to stop it here or keep going.
We can finish with the Seahawks. I have all the picks already picked.
Okay, cool. All right. So we have the Atlanta Falcons here. They need defense. So here, I'm going to have them taking one of the other Georgia edge rushers just because I think this is what they need. Again, they do need a lot on the offensive line over there too, and they just need to figure out if Penix is going to be that guy or not. But they'll keep adding to the edge position here, and I'm going to go with Michael Williams. Michael Williams is a big guy, 6'5", 260. Not the fastest guy, but he is definitely a huge guy that can stuff the run, get around the edge blocker, and hopefully make some disruptions in the sack game. But he is just a beast. And I mean, a beast from the East there in Georgia. So I think that this is not a bad pick for the Falcons there. They just need a lot of edge help, as they have been in the past few years. So that's who I'm going with, Atlanta.
All right. I like that pick, Vince. This will also like your pick, Falcons, Bama linebacker, Jihad Campbell. But I'm going a different direction. I'm going to take, I don't think they need a corner, but where my draft has gone, there is a corner who has dropped very, very far, in my opinion. That's Jahdae Barron from Texas. Had a great season last year with the Texans, 5 picks. Didn't get a lot, got targets, but not a lot of whatever. He's good, okay? I think he's going to be able to elevate them, add more depth. And sometimes, yes, you need to target areas that you are hurting in. Other times, you just see a good player, the best player on the board, and you take it. And that's Jahdae Barron at this point in my draft.
Not bad. All right, we'll move on to a team that me and AJ just think is not good. But that's the Cardinals here at pick 16. Basically middle of the pack in the NFL, 8-9, just like a lot of these teams before them. But they just, I feel like they needed defense as well. But I feel like their offense has just dwindled. And I feel like on the defensive side, they just pick up the scraps from the 49ers and Seahawks, because that is like half of their team. So here, I'm going to go with an interior guy. I'm going with Walter Nolan from Ole Miss, a defensive lineman, 6'4", 296. He's a great guy to come down the middle, stuff the run, get to the quarterback if he needs to. He's got a few sacks in his resume there. But he is one of the best run blockers, and I think in the division that we are in, we heavily rely on the run game. And the Cardinals need to get better at that if they want to compete to hopefully maybe fight for the division this next year. I don't know. They beat their expectations this past year, but I'm going with Walter Nolan here to hopefully help them on the defensive side.
Okay. Dizzle is confused with who that is, apparently. But don't you worry, Dizzle. I have the Cardinals taking your Bama linebacker, Jihad Campbell, at this pick number, what pick are we on? 16. Jihad Campbell out of Alabama, 89 tackles last year, a lot of coverage snaps as well. He is a run defense coverage guy. He can play off the ball if needed. Only missed 7 tackles last year. Is going to be a really good help for them on the defensive side.
Not bad. Awesome. So we'll move on to Cincinnati. Gee, he just loves you, Reed. He's a reader at this
Reader,
point.
we've known this.
We'll move on to the Cincinnati Bengals, who obviously, if you watch football, you know this team just needs defense. They pay, what is it? What was the number, Reed? 45% of their cap goes to the offensive side for 3 players. Yeah, it's insane. So they need to get younger, especially on the defensive side. They're trying their best to figure out on this defense there, but it's just not working. So at this point in time, I hate that they're going to get this pick because this is the only guy that I would have wanted if we didn't go offensive line. So here at this position, I'm going to have them taking my man, Nick Eamon-Warry from South Carolina, safety. 6'3", 220, big hitter, great in zone defense. I think he would fit the Seahawks system tremendous on the defensive side because he's a big, heavy hitter that can just come down and stop the run if he needs help on the second level. But I think that this is the time where the Bengals actually get smart. Sorry. And they just get the safety. So at this point in time, I hate it, but I think that's who they're going to get. They're going to bypass all their other positions and get Eamon-Warry.
Okay. All right. Well, Vincent, I'm also going defense, obviously, because the Bengals need it. But I'm going on the opposite side of the defensive side, and I'm going edge rusher. The Bengals, they're most likely going to lose Trey Henderson, and they lost their other edge rusher to retirement. So they need some edge rushers, in my opinion. I'm going to have them take Mike Green out of Marshall. Mike Green had a really good last year with the Marshall, I don't know, Thundering Herd, apparently. I've never heard of this school before.
You never heard of Marshall?
Dude, I don't follow college, Vincent.
Dude, you haven't even seen the movie We Are Marshall?
This is the first time I've ever heard of this.
Wow. You got to watch it.
Okay, I don't. 17 sacks last year, 10 hits, and 32 hurries, and 1 batted ball. That is a pretty damn good stat line. I know he probably didn't play against the best offensive lineman out there, but you don't get those stats without being a great edge rusher. And I think the Bengals are going to take him at pick number 17.
Interesting. All right. Now here at 18, boys, Seattle Seahawks.
All right.
I know I said that we need offensive tackle, but with the way the board is gone, I don't like the offensive tackles at this point in time. I would want us to still get an offensive tackle in the second round and the third round because we have multiple picks there, and maybe even the fourth round as well. I don't even care. But something that's very pressing after this free agency, and I think is something that we will do just because we just love Ohio State wide receivers. I think we're going to go with Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State, 6'1", 202, great speed, great route running, because we're going to need somebody to be along Cooper Kupp. Another wide receiver, yeah. I think we're going wide receiver here if we don't go offensive tackle. I just think that's what we're going to do, especially if Nick Eamon-Warry is not here. It's just in our blood. I don't think we've picked an offensive lineman in the past 4 or 5 years in the first round. So it's just something that we do. Again, that could change with Mike McDonald. But if we don't go defensive at the safety position like we need to because we let go of one of our safeties, I think we'll go wide receiver here just to help out the offense and get another pass catcher in there. So that's what I got.
All right. Well, I'm going to stay in the offense Ohio State family, and you guys are taking a tackle. So congratulations, Vincent. You are bolstering your offensive line, which you need very much, and you are taking Josh Simmons out of Ohio State. Okay. He did a lot of single sack last year, but he only played 6 games. I don't know what his injury was, but you are getting an injured player, so congrats. Okay. But in his 6 games, 0 sacks, 0 hits, only allowed 1 hurry. out of 300 snaps, 306 snaps. So still really good, in my opinion. I think you're getting a good offensive lineman. Congratulations, Vincent.
That's one of the guys I don't want. That's why I
You
didn't
get him.
That's why I didn't get offensive tackle here. And I don't think that we'll do it, but it is what it is.
Doesn't matter. You got him.
But yeah, so obviously we still have a lot to go here, and we got somebody coming in possibly here. So maybe we'll even extend this, or we'll just ask AJ off the bat if he's got his picks already. My guy.
Sup, man? Sup? I just saw that you guys were like, what, pick 15, 16?
18. We just picked Seattle's pick.
Oh, geez, I was behind then. But I have not gone that far in my picks. I will admit, sorry to say, but yeah.
Do you want to go with the picks that you got? We were specifically only supposed to do top 10, but we ended up moving along just because we were having fun with it.
Actually, I would rather not because I'm not happy with my picks. So I'd like to do some more research when it comes down to it.
Okay.
All right, AJ, but off the bat, I want to ask this. Who do you think Ashton Gianti will be better with? The Saints or the Bears?
With the Bears. 100%. I think he'd be great. I mean, the Saints are a dying franchise. I mean, they've been dead for the past how many years since Sean Payton been gone? Where he said, "F you, salary cap hell, you're gonna be done for the next decade." I mean, the Bears restructured their whole offensive line in 1 week. I mean, they have 4 new offensive linemen. Their offensive line is totally different, and they're not mediocre players. They're the best of free agency. And I'm excited to see if they draft someone in the draft, maybe a center to just do not even a center. Sorry, they just got a center in the free agency. But yeah, Ashton Gianti, if he goes out there to the Bears, I think it would be ideal. They don't have a set in stone running back who they're like, you know what, this is our guy. And no one made that point last year during the season. So I think this would be perfect. It's a very young team, a way for him to grow alongside the team as well.
Too bad the Saints are taking him at number 9.
That top 10, I know it's kind of crazy. I'm still against having a running back go top 10, but I know this is a special breed of player. He's awesome, but I wouldn't like them to get him at number 9. I think they're just going to kill his career.
Okay. You wanna hear my curveballs real quick, AJ?
Yeah, I'd love to.
At number 6, the Raiders. Guess who had him taken?
Who you got?
Jackson Dart, quarterback.
After they signed Gino.
Yes.
Reed, that's wild, dude.
They're gonna develop him. In my opinion, he's gonna be possibly, if they develop him right, the best quarterback out of this draft class.
You think Dart's gonna go that high?
If they don't take him at 6, they trade back for him and take him later. It just depends on, as we get closer and closer to draft day. You know, draft stock goes up and down on how people are thinking. If they think they are not going to be able to trade back far enough, or they feel like, because the only other team I see potentially going after him is a team like the Steelers. I think they are taking him at number 6 if they don't want to trade back. Depends how things go.
Well, the Steelers, they have picked
21, but you could be scared. Hey, you hear somebody say, "Oh, they're thinking about drafting up to so area." Hey, you just got to take him at number 6. That's my curveball, right? Now, number 2 curveball, okay? Dallas Cowboys. Who do you think they're taking?
Offensive line, they won't take a running back that early. Defensive player, they lost a couple of key players out there.
They won't take a running back that early. Jerry Jones is angry. He wanted Genty. That's all he could see, AJ. That's all he could see. And now he has the name written down. The whole war room's trying to stop him, but Jerry's just too strong for him, all right?
No.
He put Scattaboo down.
No way.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah.
Scattaboo's not even a top 3 running back in the draft class. Are you kidding me?
Scattaboo down, going number 12.
Listen, I love Scat. I really do. I want the Niners to get him.
Yep.
Like in the 3rd round. I want the Niners to pick him up in the 3rd round. I don't know, man.
Jerry, man.
If he It's very rare if he'll fall to a third round. I think he'll go mid to late second, high third. But yeah, that high with pick 12 with the Cowboys.
We didn't see Gibbs going that high, and then look how that went for the Lions.
But Gibbs is
Dallas
rated a lot higher than Scat. Scat is rated
Dallas,
high because his versatility. I
he
mean, this
wants
guy
them.
could do a lot of things. He's a pass catcher. He's a running back. He's a blocker. He could do it all, right? I mean, Gibbs was a high tier running back, pure running back, and you know, who's this? The best running back. Wait, looks like
Judkins is good. I think he's the next guy, in my opinion.
It's just the way I see it, guys. Just the way I see it.
No trades. We're not doing trades.
I didn't do any trades this early. This is the first draft ever. There has not. Everybody's going into the draft so far with their own first overall pick. That's the first time it's happened in like 30 plus years or something like that.
It's been insane.
Yeah. So
everybody gets a first round pick.
As I said, I think Raiders has probably the highest possibility of trading back, in my opinion.
Okay. I think it's Jags.
Jags have a good chance as well.
I maybe see the Patriots trading back.
Very well. That 4, 5, 6 range. Is the Kraken the Hunter good?
Craven the Hunter good?
Oh.
I don't know why you're asking AJ.
I just saw it last night.
Oh, you did?
How'd you know I just saw it last night?
How'd you know that? I didn't
He's stalking you, bro.
What the hell? I literally just saw it last night.
Was it good? I heard it was.
I didn't think it was as bad as all the reviews were. I thought it could have been a lot better. I won't say it's good.
Was it Madam Web bad?
I wouldn't say it's that bad.
Okay.
Yeah, but it wasn't good either.
Okay.
Yeah, I could get into it, but
okay.
Have y'all seen it?
No,
I haven't.
No. It's on Netflix.
I've fallen off of Marvel as of lately.
All right. Well, we got anything else?
I don't think so. I think up to 18 so far for the Seahawks is pretty good. This next one will definitely get your thoughts on the Packers, Reed, and then of course AJ will get your thoughts on the 49ers when we do our next mock draft. Should be interesting. But yeah. So AJ doesn't want to reveal his picks yet, guys. So we'll let him do some more thinking on it. We've all had a busy Monday getting back from vacay. So, but look who it is. Oh, Subby K. What's up, man? But yeah, so that'll be it for today's mock draft. We were only supposed to do the top 10 picks, but we extended it just for me, just because I wanted to say who we could possibly get. But that'll be it for our first ever mock draft for the 2025 NFL draft coming up pretty soon. But I'm pretty sure we will have at least one or two more in there at some point in time. So go ahead and tune in next Monday. We will be going live again with either some more news or some more draft news on these mock drafts. So anything else you guys want to add for next Monday?
No.
All righty. So other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button. Leave a comment down if you think some of our picks are correct or if we were just way off the mark in your opinion. Definitely not Reed. But other than that, guys, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. We are on our way to 1,000 subscribers and more. So if you're feeling generous, go ahead and hit that sub button. Totally free. And other than that, as we always say, guys, keep on grinding.